So we just poured the liquid overlaminate into the tray. Again, the tray and the brush, all this stuff is found at a local hardware store. So we didn't have to order from somewhere special. We can go out and get what we need right there locally. Talk about how much material needs to be on the roller. Like what is a good amount of material? What is too much material? So everybody at home knows.
Yeah, so what we want to do here, Josh, is we want to make sure our roller is really saturated with the product. I mean, it's to the point where you really are saturating that roller up as much as you possibly can at the beginning. Once you get that kind of set and you have it, you want to take it and roll it in what we call a north and south direction. So it's going through the graphic in a north and south way. Maybe we get halfway through, we'd want to go ahead and really saturate that well and continue on with our pattern here.
So talk about the amount of pressure you're using right now and what you're trying to avoid as you're rolling it.
Great point. Yeah, this is, one thing that's really important is not to overwork the product. As you can see here, I'm just really holding this lightly with my finger and my thumb here, and I'm not pushing down. I'm letting the weight of the roller just handle the movement here across the vinyl piece. So in this case, I feel pretty good that I don't have to reload up, and we're fully covered here on this.
So, I mean, the camera's probably picking up a little bit of, there's some texture there right now, there's some air bubbles, but what's in the solution that, I mean, you're gonna have a tendency to want to overwork it because you're gonna see that, but the solution itself will self-level, right? So it'll smooth out over time. You really don't let that scare you when applying it for your first time.
I think the first reaction is oh my gosh, what have I done to my graphic here, right?
Yeah.
And so in a lot of cases, you do this really nice just weight of the roller application to it, and all of what you're seeing here will self-level and work its way out. It will, over the next 30 to 40 minutes, it'll look completely different. It'll look like back to the original piece we saw here before we added the laminate.
So I also noticed that you rolled over the edges to make sure all the edges got covered really nice. And how long do I have to wait before I can touch it now?
So you're going to give this somewhere between 20 to 30 minutes in that range where you can actually handle it by hand. And at that point, you could add another additional coating, coat to this if you'd like.
Okay. So if we wanted to get this out of the way, we wait a few minutes and we could maybe carefully slide it out of the way. But when you say touch it, you mean touching the face of the film.
Correct.
And it won't leave an impression.
That's correct. You could actually touch that by hand once it gets into that 30-minute range, and you're good to go with a second application, or let it dry. And what we want to say, let it dry, we want it to kind of make sure that it's 100% dry after about an hour to an hour and a half. But then, even longer than that would be good. If you could do this, let it sit overnight before you gave it to your customer, would be optimum.